Hello, and welcome to LauraO'Brien.business. This is myself, Laura O'Brien, and this channel is all about advice and support on building or growing a business with spirit. So we're very much based on a community-focused business model that gives first. And this is advice and support that is coming to you from a spiritual entrepreneur who has been developing my own spiritual business since 2001. And the business part of that is just as important as the spiritual part of that. And I refer you back to my first video to make sure that you know exactly where I'm coming from and what my experience is. But what I wanted to talk about today is, what is a spiritual entrepreneur? And within the business and marketing and consultancy side of things, the spiritual businesses kind of get a bit of flack, like they're not taken very seriously, right? And I've got a foot in both worlds, very much in spirituality, very much in business. And I have really seen the way that business people will often look down on spiritual people, but also spiritual people will look down on business people. And I get it, right? You know, if you talk to a business person, they might say that, spiritual people don't take business seriously and they're kind of flaky and they don't really know what they're doing and all that kind of stuff, right? I've heard all of those things. I don't agree with them, but I've heard all of those things. And then, if you talk to a spiritual person about business people, they will be saying things like, they're capitalists, they're only out for what they can get. They're pushy, they're kind of, slick car salesman kind of mentality going on, and there's no heart and soul to what they're doing. It's all just about filling the money, right? So again, that's not true of everybody, obviously, in business. And I can see both sides, but also I think that there is a different way of going about things. So a spiritual entrepreneur for me, well, I really like the quote from Richard Branson for a start, right? Who's obviously a great entrepreneur, not necessarily a great spiritual person or a great humanitarian, but I like this quote because it says, being an entrepreneur simply means being someone who wants to make a difference to other people's lives. I'm not sure how well Branson carries that out, right, in the day-to-day, but the idea of that, being in business so that you can make a difference in somebody else's life or many other people's lives, that really appeals to me. So to my mind, a spiritual business is any business that puts people before profits, right? So I run very much a community service based business, and that is the model that I want to be teaching. That's the model that I want to share with people. So some of the main questions that I ask myself literally every day, right, is, how can I improve the lives of others? How can I solve my community's problems? How can I create beauty or joy or wellness or growth? And those are all, maybe individual to what type of business you're running within the spiritual entrepreneurship market. But beauty, joy, wellness, or growth, or personal development, they're all very, very important aspects to any kind of spiritual business, I would say. And ultimately, it just comes down to this, me sitting down every day before I do anything, and my focus is, how can I be of service to my community? And that is what a community service based business is and does, right? And you have to live that. You have to keep that as your big why, right? To use the business speak. So it's very important to build a community who know, like, and trust you. And when you start to develop relationships and right relationship, as I call it within my spiritual practice, that actually goes for my business as well. So it is vital that I am listening and learning to what my community truly want and need from me. And within our own business, I definitely check in on a very, very regular basis. I have Currently, at time of recording this video, there's about 7,500 people on our business mailing list, and I email them all the time, and I put, post quizzes and how can I be of service, how can I be of help, especially in the times that we're going through as we record this. It's just turned April of 2020, so we are in quite difficult times currently, and that's one of the things that's been prompting me to help other spiritual people with the entrepreneurship side of their business, but also with the making sure that we are working from that place of how can I be of service to my community, because I think that that's what the world needs. I think that we are observing hopefully the death of capitalism, right? And it has become very, very clear in the last month, really, that if you hadn't seen it already, that people is where the power is, and people is where the value is. And bailing out the banks or bailing out the stock market is not what people, what we need to do. We need to take care of people, and that's really where I'm coming from, and that's the push and the prompt that I've been getting from my God's guides and guardians, represented on my altar here behind me, who are literally looking over my shoulder in my office for every step that I take, right? So that when I come to my audience, to my community, I'm give, 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 and then if and when I make an offer based on the problems that they have been telling me, what they truly want and need from me. When I do make an offer that is a paid offer or a free offer sometimes, because I actually view them both the same. Like if I'm putting together a class that is a free class, I will put just as much time, effort, and energy into it as any of our paid classes over at the Irish Pagan School. And you can see that, there's multiple free classes up there. Feel free to go and take them if you want. And you can see that the practice, the premise, the resources, the value that's provided. So when I'm making an offer, I'm not just talking about you know I'm not just talking about a paid offer, right? I would say that I provide resources first and foremost through my YouTube channel, through my mailing list, through communicating with people, through making myself available on my Facebook groups, all that stuff, right? Those are resources that I can provide on a daily basis. When I make an offer, then that is something that people have to actively engage with. So, enroll, sign up, get on a mailing list, interact in some way, a 5-day challenge, any of those kind of things, that would be an offer. And sometimes that's free and sometimes that's paid, right? But every offer that I make has to solve a problem, has to genuinely be of service to my community, or I'm at nothing. I'm losing that trust that I've built up. I am losing the help and support of my God's guides and guardians, because my entire business is based around that this is my commitment to myself, to them, to the people, to everything that I'm doing. So if you're interested in more like this, definitely subscribe to this channel and join my mailing list. There's a link down below. And I hope that I can be of service to you in building your business with spirit as we go through this journey and forge this new normal together. So I will see you in the next video. Guramagat. Thank you.